Welcome to Alphores e-learning botany classes. In today's session, that is session 5, right? We are discussing regions of root. In yesterday's session, we started this regions of root and we completed a root cap region. What's a root cap region? Now listen this statement. Root cap is replaced by root cap is replaced by root pockets. Root cap is replaced by root pockets in some hydrophytic plants. Yes or no? Sir, which hydrophytic plants, sir? Free floating hydrophytic plants. In which hydrophytic plants, sir? Free floating hydrophytic plants, right? Sir, Pistia. What it is? Pistia. And Eichhornia. What and what, sir? Pistia and Eichhornia are free floating hydrophytes. They are what? They are free floating hydrophytes. Pistia and Eichhornia are free floating hydrophytes with root pockets. With what, sir? With root pockets. With root pockets. Is this statement okay? Right? Sir, Pistia and Eichhornia, these two are free floating hydrophytes with root pockets, right? With this we completed this root cap region. Now go for the second one. What's sir? Meristematic region. What it is? Meristematic region. Meristematic region. Meristematic region. Meristematic region. See this diagram. Sir, this is a root cap region. Yes or no? This is which region, sir? Root cap region. Whereas this is a meristematic region. What is this region called as, sir? Meristematic region. Meristematic region, right? Sir, this is which region, sir? Meristematic region. Sir, this meristematic region is present proximal to root cap region. Meristematic region is present what? Proximal to root cap region, right? Therefore, meristematic region, where it is proximal to root cap region. Proximal to root cap region. Is it okay? Now see here. Sir, this meristematic region, it measures 1 millimeter in length. It measures how much, sir? 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter in length. Meristematic region measures 1 millimeter in length. Sir, in this meristematic region, which cells are present? Meristematic cells are present. Therefore, meristematic region contains meristematic region. It contains which cells? Meristematic cells. Contains which cells? Meristematic cells. Sir, how these meristematic cells are? Meristematic cells are small in size. They are small cells. Okay. They are thin-walled cells. Thick-walled or thin-walled, sir? They are thin-walled cells. They are thin-walled cells. Sir, here primary cell wall is present. What is present here? Primary cell wall is present. Primary cell wall is present. Right. Sir, meristematic cells are small thin-walled cells with primary cell wall and dense protoplasm. What it is? Dense protoplasm. Dense protoplasm. What is the meaning of protoplasm, sir? Cytoplasm plus nucleus. What plus what? Cytoplasm plus nucleus is equals to what? Protoplasm. Sir, what is the meaning of meristematic cell? The cell which divides. The cell which divides, it means in meristematic region, as meristematic cells are present, cell division takes place. What takes place? Cell division takes place. Sir, if cell divides, number of cells increases. What increases? Number of cells increases, right? Therefore, meristematic cells divides. Which cells these are? Meristematic cells. Meristematic cells divides. Meristematic cells divides and produces new cells. And produces new cells. And produces new cells. So, number of cells increases. What increases? Number of cells increases. Number of cells increases. Is it okay? Sir, we are saying that meristematic cells are dividing. Sir, it divides by mitotically or meiotically, sir? Mitotically. A meristematic cell divides by mitosis. Divides by mitosis. Right? Right? Therefore, in meristematic region, what takes place? Cell division takes place. So, number of cells increases. Right? Now, go for number 3, third region. What's our elongation region? What it is? Elongation region. Elongation region. Right? Now, see here. Sir, this is elongation region, right? Sir, it is proximal to meristematic region. Elongation region is proximal to meristematic region, right? Where it is proximal. Proximal to meristematic region. Proximal to meristematic region. Proximal to meristematic region. Sir, this elongation region, it measures 4 to 8 millimeters in length. How much it measures? 4 to 8 millimeters. 4 to 8 millimeters in length. Sir, in elongation region, what happens, sir? The cells will elongate and enlarge. So, the length, the size of the cell increases. So, automatically the length of the root also increases. Therefore, what happens in elongation region, sir? Cells elongates. Cells elongates and enlarges. Cells elongates and enlarges. So, length of root increases. What increases, sir? Length of the roots increases. Now listen this statement carefully. Sir, increase in length. Increase in what? Length is called as primary growth. Increase in length is called as which growth, sir? Primary growth. Primary growth is also called as linear growth. Primary growth is also called as what? Linear growth. Sir, here whose length has increased? Root length has increased. Therefore, right, primary growth of what has taken place? Primary growth of root has taken place. Primary growth of root has taken place, right? Therefore, sir, elongation region proximal to meristematic region, present above the meristematic region. Elongation region measures 4 to 8 millimeters in length. In elongation region, the cells elongates and enlarges. So, length of the root increases. Increase in length called as primary growth or linear growth. As length of the root has increased, right, primary growth or linear growth of root has taken place. Okay, therefore, in meristematic region, cell division has taken place, number of cells increased. In elongation region, cell elongation has taken place, so the size of the cell has increased. Size of the cell has increased, right? Go for the fourth one. What's our maturation region? What's our maturation region, right? Go for number 4. What's our maturation region, right? Maturation region. Maturation region. Now listen here. Sir, this maturation region, where it is, once you see the diagram, it is above the elongation region. It means it is proximal to elongation region. Yes or no? Therefore, maturation region, it's proximal. Where it is, sir? Proximal to elongation region. Proximal to what, sir? Elongation region. Is it okay? Sir, this maturation region, it measures 1 to 6 centimeters in length. Measures how much, sir? 1 to 6 centimeters. I am not saying millimeters, centimeters. 1 to 6 centimeters in what, sir? Length. Okay, now listen. Sir, in maturation region, cell differentiation takes place. What takes place? Cell differentiation. Cell differentiation takes place. Cell differentiation takes place. Sir, what is the meaning of cell differentiation, sir? Due to cell differentiation process, a meristematic cell changes into a permanent cell. What changes into what? Meristematic changes into permanent. Meristematic changes into what, sir? Permanent. By which process? Cell differentiation process. Therefore, write meristematic cells, they changes into permanent cells. They changes into which cells, sir? They changes into permanent cells. By which process? Cell differentiation process. Therefore, by cell differentiation process, meristematic cells changes into permanent cells. Is this statement okay? Sir, these permanent cells are formed by which process, sir? Cell differentiation process. So, these permanent cells are also called as a differentiated cells. Is it okay? Right. Sir, permanent cells, they are formed by cell differentiation process. Yes or no? So, permanent cells also called as a permanent cells also called as a what? Differentiated cells. Also called as a differentiated cells. Differentiated cells. These are also called as matured cells. What they are even called as, sir? Matured cells. They are even called as matured cells. Is it okay? Now listen the statement. Sir, permanent cells are formed in which region? Maturation region. This permanent cells, what's this permanent cells, they forms epidermis, cortex and stele of the root. Is this statement okay? Sir, permanent cells are formed by cell differentiation process. But cell differentiation has taken place in maturation region. Therefore, in maturation region, these permanent cells forms epidermis, cortex and stele of the root. Right? Therefore, permanent cells. Permanent cells. Sir, group of cells called as tissue. Therefore, permanent cells are permanent tissue. Right? Forms what they forms? Forms epidermis, forms epidermis, what more? Cortex and stele of root. Therefore, epidermis, cortex and stele of root, they are formed by which cells? They are formed by permanent cells. They are formed by which cells? Permanent cells. Is it okay? Now see here, sir, this is a epidermis. What is this layer? Epidermis, right? This is a epidermis. Okay. Now these are epidermal cells. All these are which cells, sir? Epidermal cells. Now see here, the cell wall of this epidermal cells extends. What has extended? The cell wall of this epidermal cell has extended and formed a structure called as root hair. What is this structure called as a root hair? See here, sir, the cell wall of this epidermal cell has extended and formed what, sir? Root hair. Formed what, sir? Root hair. Is this statement okay? Now listen the statement. Sir, this is the epidermal cell which has formed the root hair. Yes or no? This epidermal cell which forms the root hair is called as a trichoblast. What it is called as? Trichoblast. Therefore, trichoblast is which cell? Epidermal cell. Which epidermal cell? The epidermal cell which produces root hair. See this root hair? Sir, this root hair is formed of how many cells? One cell. Therefore, root hair is unicellular. Root hair is unicellular. Root hair is unicellular. Right? Therefore, cell wall of what? Epidermal cells. Cell wall of epidermal cells, what happens? Extends and forms what? Root hairs. What are formed? Root hairs are formed, okay, by the extension of cell wall of epidermal cells, right? Okay, now listen this statement. The epidermal cell which produces root hairs, right? Epidermal cell which produces a root hair. The epidermal cell which produces root hair, that epidermal cell is called as what? Trichoblast. That epidermal cell is called as a trichoblast. Therefore, trichoblast is a epidermal cell which produces root hair. Sir, how these root hairs are? How the root hairs are? Sir, root hairs made up of how many cells? One cell. Therefore, root hairs are unicellular. Root hairs are unicellular, right? They are thread-like tubular extensions. They are what? Thread-like tubular extensions. Thread-like tubular extensions. We are discussing about what, sir? Root hairs. Sir, these root hairs are ephemeral. How they are? Ephemeral. It means short-lived. Lifespan is less. Ephemeral. They are ephemeral, right? And these root hairs, they appears like white cottony fibers on the surface of the root. Therefore, appears as a white cottony fibers on their root surface. Now you tell me, sir, root hairs are present in which region? Maturation region. What is the function of root hairs? Absorption of water and minerals from the soil. It means maturation region, due to the presence of root hairs, helps in absorption of water, helps in absorption of water and minerals from the soil. Sir, root hairs helps in absorption of water and minerals from the soil, but these root hairs are present in maturation region. So maturation region helps in absorption of water and minerals from the soil. Is it okay? Now listen this statement. Sir, regions of root, how many are there? 4. Number 1, root cap region. Number 2, meristematic region. Number 3, elongation region. Number 4, maturation region. Root hairs are present in which region, sir? Maturation region. Yes or no? It means root hairs are not uniformly distributed throughout the root. Sir, root hairs, are they distributed uniformly throughout the root? No, because root hairs are not in root cap region, not in meristematic region, not in elongation region, but they are in maturation region. Therefore, root hairs are not uniformly distributed in all regions of the root. They are not uniformly distributed throughout the root. Okay, now listen here. Sir, we discussed about lateral roots. Yes or no? Which roots, sir? Lateral roots. Now listen this statement. Which roots? Lateral roots. Now listen. Sir, root hairs, they are formed from maturation region of the root. Yes or no? Sir, in maturation region, right, from where these root hairs are formed from? Epidermis. Epidermis is the outermost layer. Epidermis is the outermost layer of root. Epidermis is the outermost layer of root. Therefore, root hairs are formed from epidermis, which is the outermost layer of root. Therefore, root hairs are exogenous in origin. Root hairs are what in origin? Exogenous in origin. Whereas lateral roots, which roots, sir? Lateral roots. These lateral roots are formed from pericycle. Sir, from where we got this pericycle? Pericycle is a part of steel. Pericycle is a part of steel. Steel is the inner part of root. Steel is the inner part of root. It means lateral roots are what in origin? They are endogenous in origin. Lateral roots are endogenous in origin. Sir, root hairs formed from epidermis. Epidermis, outermost layer of root. So, root hairs are exogenous in origin, whereas lateral roots are formed from pericycle, which is a part of steel. Steel is the innermost part of the root. So, lateral roots are endogenous in origin. Root hairs are what in origin? Exogenous in origin. Lateral roots are endogenous in origin. These root hairs and lateral roots are formed from which region of roots? Are maturation region of root, right? See, these are four regions of root, right? First one, root cap region. I am saying from the tip. Okay, right? Sir, this is root cap region. Sir, root cap region, it is provided. Root cap region, it is provided with what? It is provided with root cap. It is provided with what? Root cap. Sir, in meristematic region, what takes place? Cell division takes place. Which region? Meristematic region. What takes place? Cell division takes place. Sir, elongation region. In elongation region, cell elongation takes place. Cell elongation takes place, right? Whereas in maturation region, which region? Maturation region, right? Cell differentiation takes place. What takes place? Cell differentiation takes place. Cell differentiation takes place, right? Therefore, root cap region provided with root cap. Meristematic region, cell division takes place. Elongation region, cell elongation takes place. Maturation region, cell differentiation takes place. Sir, meristematic region, due to cell division, number of cells increases. Elongation region, due to cell elongation, size of the cell increases. Maturation region, cell differentiation, so permanent cells are formed. What are formed? Permanent cells are formed, right? Go for next topic, that is root modifications. What? Root modifications. Root modifications. Sir, modifications, permanent change. Sir, root modifications, permanent change in root. What it is? Permanent change in a root. Permanent change. Permanent change in root. Why this permanent change has taken place? This permanent change has taken place to perform new functions. To perform what, sir? New functions. To perform new functions. Now listen this statement carefully. Sir, root modifications means which change? Permanent change. Sir, permanent change has taken place in what, sir? In morphology and physiology of root. Morphology, structure of root. Physiology, functioning of root. Therefore, permanent change in what? Permanent change in what, sir? Structure and physiology. What and what? Structure and physiology. Structure and physiology of what? Structure and physiology of root to perform new functions is called as root modifications. These root modifications are of different types. Root modifications are of different types. Number one, storage roots. What is the first one? Storage roots. Number two, epiphytic roots. What is the second one? Epiphytic roots. Epiphytic roots. Number three, photosynthetic roots. What it is? photosynthetic roots. Number 4, respiratory roots. Respiratory roots. Okay, next number 5, nodular roots. What's nodular roots? Number 6, parasitic roots. What is the sixth one? Parasitic roots, right? Next, number 7, stilt roots. What it is? Stilt roots. Next, number 8, right, prop roots. What it is? Prop roots, right? Go for the first one. What they are? Storage roots. Go for storage roots. What is the first one? Storage roots. Now listen the statements. Sir, in autotrophic plants, what is the meaning of autotrophic plants? The plants which can prepare their own food materials. In some autotrophic plants, the excess of food is stored in the root. Who is storing the food? Root is storing the food. As a root stores the food, we are calling that root as a storage root. Sir, if root stores the food, the root becomes tuberous. Root becomes bulged. Root becomes tuberous. So storage roots are also called as a tuberous roots. What is another name for storage roots? Storage roots are also called as a tuberous roots. Okay, in some autotrophic plants, root stores food materials. Who is storing the food materials? Root stores food materials and becomes tuberous. And becomes what? Tuberous. Who is becoming tuberous or bulged? The root is becoming tuberous or bulged. Why? Due to the storage of food materials. Okay. But root modifications, listen, we are discussing storage roots in root modifications. Yes or no? Sir, how many types of roots are there? 3 types. Tap roots, fibrous roots, adventitious roots. Yes or no? Sir, in these 3 types of roots, right, which roots becomes a storage root, sir? Right, tap root can become a storage root. Fibrous root can become a storage root. Adventitious root can also become a storage root. Therefore, right, storage root, what? Storage root may be either tap root or fibrous root or adventitious root. Is it okay? Right, it means a tap root can store food, fibrous root can store food, adventitious root can also store food. Okay, therefore storage roots are of how many types? Storage roots are of 3 types. What are they? Storage tap roots. Number 2, storage fibrous roots. Number 3, storage adventitious roots. Right? Go for the first one, right? Storage tap root. It means here tap root stores food materials. And becomes tuberous, becomes fleshy. Okay, right? Therefore, tap root stores what? Food materials. Tap root stores what? Food materials, right? And becomes what? Tuberous. Right? Sir, when tap root stores food materials and becomes tuberous, right? They attains a specific shape, right? And attains what? Attains specific shape. Okay, based on shape, storage tap roots are of 3 types: cone shape or conical shape, fusiform right? And third one is a top shape. Top shape. What it is? A top shape. Therefore, based on shape, what they attains, storage taproots are of how many types? 3 types. Cone shape or conical shape, right? Cone shape or conical shape, fusiform, and next one is a top shape, right? Stay home, stay